So there was this moment in the demo that felt really juicy to me where she first mentions her stage persona, the Hellstern.
Yeah.
She flips her hair over and her whole energy changes. And that felt like exciting to me. Like my mind says, there's a resource.
Good.
And so my instinct would be to kind of like zero in on that, start asking questions about this Hellstern. What would she do?
Yep.
But my concern is, would that become too leading? Like that's my idea. There's a resource. Is it my idea, or am I just responding to what she's contributed?
Yes to both. Anything you throw out can be wrong or right. You won't know until you've said it. People go, what's the one magic question I could ask all my clients? Doesn't exist. You won't know if the question's good until you get a response. Okay. So here's the one thing that'll help. And Irina's heard me say this a lot. All roads lead to Rome. Sometimes getting to this root cause takes one question. Kyle, it took two. So bad for Kyle. It took too long. 2 questions. Okay. Sometimes it'll take you half an hour and then bang, you've got them. Sometimes it'll take, unfortunately, 3 sessions and you've got them. All roads eventually lead. So what happens is the fact you've got an instinct like, oh, that's juicy. We're going to come up with a better metaphor. That's juicy, but that's what it is. That's some interesting information. I'm curious about that. You might ask her and she goes, well, and then it's all conscious again. You go, ah, okay, dead end. I'll backtrack, go down another road. So it's never going to be straight. So what happens over time, guys, as you get good at this, if you've seen enough of my demos, you might think, oh, how does Scott know what to say every time? I don't. I just don't care what the question is. And I make a lot of mistakes. I can just hide them really well because I don't care about them. The worst thing you can do is throw a question out, you hit a dead end and go, oh, I fucked it up. I suck at this. I'm now going to become a personal trainer because I can't be a therapist. This sucks. You throw it out there. Who cares what the response is? It's either going to come with unconscious moments or it's not. If it doesn't, you just ask another question. So you could have been right, but it also proves we had 2 or 3 different ways to go into this thing. We went to another way, we ended up in the same place as your resource would have gone anyway. Do you see I have unlimited possibilities? The only way you can hear those possibilities is if you're so busy, where you can't hear them, if you're so busy trying to find the right way to do things. That doesn't exist. You just go with whatever you feel, your instincts kick in. It's that unconscious Ericksonian genius that comes out. You ask a question and go, holy shit, where did that come from? That was awesome. And then you try and use that same question with another client, it does nothing because it's a different process.
So you just pay attention to see, does it lead further into unconsciousness, or do you see them just backtrack into consciousness? And that's how you gauge whether you're going in the right direction.
That is it. And that's what we're going to do next. All we're looking for was, did I get an unconscious response or did I get a conscious response? If it's unconscious, I'm going to follow that. If it's conscious, I'm going to ignore that. That's what we're going to do next. Doesn't that make it easier than trying to solve the problem?
Absolutely.
All you have to do is just find out what's unconscious and what's conscious. Makes sense, right?